What's up, guys? So today I'm just going to give you a general rundown on how to do a drift build for pretty much any car. So first you can just start off by maxing the car out. Usually I just leave the motor, stock motor, I like swapping that out. Keep it rear wheel drive preferably. This is preference. I prefer superchargers or twin turbo just because you can see the difference in power band, how the power band comes on. So I just use superchargers. Just want to max everything out like usual. So here, obviously drift, spring and dampers. Here's preference, so do not use race tire compounds, don't use rally tire compound. Some people like to use drag race tire compounds. I'm not too big of a fan, I prefer just to keep it stock. Usually max out the back, keep the front normal. Rims is up to preference. I'll just probably put on some ADV1s. Don't do anything here. So before you actually get into the tuning, you gotta look at the bias. So just press up on the D-pad or whatever you do on PC. So the front displacement is 53%, so just remember that number, it's gonna be important. So now we can actually get into the tuning. So for the front tire pressure, I usually put it at 36 for the front, 33 for the rear. So gearing, I'll get to that at the end. I don't like starting off with that. So alignment, usually do 0.5 for the rear. Keep the front camber at -5, 1.5 front toe, and -0.5 rear toe. Keep the front castle the same. So for the anti-roll bars, this is where I'd recommend getting a calculator up for pretty much here and forward. So you're going to look at the minimum and maximum. So the minimum is 1, maximum is 65. So that percentage that I told you to remember earlier, so in my case it's going to be 53%. You would do the maximum minus the minimum times the front bias, because we're talking about the front right now. So it's 53% plus the minimum. So that's going to be 35 or 34.92 in my case. I just rounded up to 35, or actually 34.9. Then do the same thing for the rear. So 65 minus 1. So the 53% is the front. So you just do the opposite. So 1 minus the front is the rear. So it's going to be 47%. So 64 times 47% plus 1 is 31. So just put it at 31. Then you do the same for the springs. This one's a little bit more complex because this action changes. So 1543.3 minus 308.7 times 0.53 plus 308.7. That's the front. You do the back. So 1543.3 minus 308.7 times 0.47 plus 308.7. That's going to be 584. Okay, so 884. Then ride height, same concept. So 1.7 times 0.53 plus 4.3. That's going to be 5.2. Then for the rear, it's going to be 1.7. So 1.7 times 0.47 plus 5.8. So 6.6. Here it's just going to be 1717. These are going to be the same ones because it's the same numbers. So 17 times 0.53 plus 3 is 12. So that's 12. This is going to be 12. Pretty sure it's 11 if I remember correctly. Just going to double check. 17 times 0.47 plus 3. Yeah, it's 11. So that's at 11. Arrow, usually don't want to put anything to make this adjustable. If you do, then just teeter it towards cornering. So brake, Usually like to do 130 in the rear and then keep the bias the same. Differential 100% on acceleration and decel at 75%. Sometimes it's at 70, but usually 75 is where you want to put it at. On the car, this is exactly how I showed you guys what it would be like. So I'm just going to test it out, see how many points I get, and get a general idea of what their car's at. So to doing that, little drift zone, 316,000 points. That's okay. I feel like anything over 300,000 points is reasonable. This also is, I think, only 900 horsepower. It doesn't have the V10 as a supercharger. It's not anything crazy, but felt good. Also, that was in the rain, so that's another factor to keep in consideration. But ultimately, 316,000 on the uphill, I think, is perfectly fine. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want more information on drifting, if you want more tunes, if you want more simple gameplay videos, feel free to follow me. I appreciate that a lot. And thank you. Have a good day.